welcome to For the Birds with Richard Cole. Richard couldn't make it this time, but he is so sorry that he's missing this edition because we are showing you the winners of our 2026 Cole's Calendar Photo Contest. It's a really exciting day. So on today's show, you are not only going to hear about who the winners are, you're going to hear from those winners. So that's really fun, hear the stories behind their pictures. We're also going to show you the prizes that our winners are going to get. We're going to have an update as to when you'll know which photos are going to make the calendar. And we're going to show you a video that has all the semifinalist photos in it. So we'll go ahead and get started and we'll show you our first place winner. This is a photograph by Caroline Ross, and this is a brown crested flycatcher. And you're going to hear from Caroline just a little bit later in the show. She's going to tell us the entire story behind this picture. Caroline is 16 years old and she is taking amazing pictures. So that's so great. And then this is our second place winner. This was photographed by Lynn Guthrie, a daddy bluebird feeding his baby who looks like he is way past due to be fed. So you'll hear from Lynn and hear about how she got this picture coming up a little bit later. And third place goes to Kelly Logis, who took this adorable picture of a pine warbler who looks like he's maybe trying to stay warm on a cold winter's day. You'll hear from all three of them coming up. But now we're going to show you the prizes that our winners got. Our first place winner, Caroline Ross, will get all of this. Believe me, Caroline will use all of this. She loves taking pictures of birds. She loves attracting the birds. She devotes so much time to her photography. It's just a hobby of hers, but she absolutely loves Cole's products. And so she's going to win all of this great variety worth $350 or more. And you can see the great variety of seeds, some of our hot mixes. She'll get food for the Hummers as well as the Cole's Hummer High Rise and our Tubezilla feeder. So there's a lot to this first prize package. And then our second place winner, Lynn, is going to get all of these great prizes. So another really good group of prizes that anybody would love to have. Lynn is just getting to know Cole's, so she'll be thrilled to get this variety. And of course, everybody can keep up with all of this on our Lazy Birder group page, which I'd love for you to join, because our prize winners are going to be taking pictures at the feeder with the Cole's seed. So she's going to get a terrific tube feeder, and as well as the Titan tray and a variety of food, some hot food. So a lot of people love Cole's for the hot products that we make. And this is worth more than $250. And then third place, which goes to Kelly, she's going to get a great variety of, food and feeders and new products like the Titan tray and the terrific tube feeder. That's just a great, easy to clean feeder that she's going to love. And then a variety of our blends and the hot meats. She already uses them, and so I'm sure she'll love this. And the Cole's Hummer High Rise, as well as the Cole's Nectar that is now available. So we have some really great prizes, and we're so happy for you to meet these prize winners today. So we did a Zoom interview with Caroline Ross, who I said is just 16 years old. She entered the contest last year, and she had a photograph that made it to the semifinals, but she didn't make it to the calendar, and she didn't win a prize last year. So she is so excited that this year she took the contest by storm and she won first prize. Here's Caroline.
So initially, I had found the contest because I had saw that cedar waxwings, if they eat berries that are bad, they can get like like as they would say, like drunk. So I was looking up videos like on YouTube, like to see like what happens to them. And I had found one of Richard's videos.
They eat a lot of berries on the ground and in the trees.
And then I was exploring the website and everything, and I had found there was a contest, and I wanted to enter it to see, if I could win. I entered 10 photos. I expected the goldfinch photo, the flycatcher, and my yellow rump warbler. We had initially gone down to Forsyth to look for glossy ibis, but we did not find any. So on our way out, we had to drive through a trail, and we still had our windows down because you had to drive through it to get the photos. And I heard a flycatcher call, and I screamed, "Stop!" And I was hanging out of the car window looking for this bird. And it's very hard to take a picture with a very heavy camera out the window. So I saw the bird just sitting on a branch, and I just was surprised I got a good picture of it. My camera is 150 to 600 millimeters, so I just kind of like zoomed into what I needed. I was probably about like maybe 50 feet away from the bird. I was really excited to win first place. I tried really hard. Last year I did not win first, like I did not win one of the prizes, so it made me like want to work harder to get a good photo for it. It motivates me to get good photos, and it's fun. It's not like super competitive or anything. It's just fun. I was really happy to see all the people that supported me and voted for my picture. I was happy. I worked really hard and I tried.
Tell me what you like about Kohl's products.
I like that it actually brings a lot of the birds to my feeder. We sometimes if we run out of bird seed and we can't get it quick enough delivered to the house, we'll run out and get a different brand, like for just like the day or something like a small bag. And the birds do not like it as much, we've noticed. They definitely like Cole's bird seed best.
Do you like just looking at all the photos that people enter?
Yeah, I think that they're very like interesting. Like I like to see some of the birds that are like sitting on like their bird feeders or like little like things outside, and you'll see other birds are like sitting next to each other and like feeding each other and their babies. I find that really interesting. Just want to say thank you again to everyone who voted for my picture, and I'm so happy to have won the contest and have been selected. And thank you to the Coles family for putting up the contest.
And congratulations, Caroline Ross. What a great job. Next up, we meet Lynn Guthrie, who took pictures of eastern bluebirds, and one of them won second prize, but another one of her photos did make the semifinals, and that is a huge accomplishment. Here's Lynn. So when you took that picture, did you think like this one is really going to do well in the contest?
There were so many animated photos, but sometimes I don't know how other photographers are, but sometimes I feel like I have a gotcha moment where I felt like that's going to be a keeper for one reason or another, just from my personal enjoyment. That's going to be a keeper. And that was definitely a gotcha moment. So
And how did it feel to have so many people vote for your photograph? And there were some tough, there was a lot of competition. We have more entries this year than we've ever had.
there were a lot of family and friends that were very kind that took the time to vote. So I was greatly appreciative of that. But to be honest, just to be picked and be one of the semifinalists was even more important to me because that there were a whole lot of photos that were submitted, I know. So just to be chosen for that, I felt like that was winner status right there.
Yeah. And how much would it mean to you to get your photo or photos in the Kohl's calendar?
Oh my gosh, I keep checking the website every day to find out when it's going to be announced. That would thrill me no end to have my photo in there. That would be fun. I live in South Carolina, and not far from me, I found out that there is a man by the name of Carl Ackerman. And Carl used to be a photographer for Clemson. He's a bird photographer. He was a landscaper, and he put those together and has a business called the Nut House. And at the Nut House on his property, he's built basically a bird sanctuary, and he has 3 different bird blinds set up with 3 different landscaped areas for the birds. One, you go and sit in the bird blind and you're nose level with a pond. And then so the second photo that I had was actually taken at the end of that pond. And so you go sit in the blind and just wait. So he's got 3 different areas for you to shoot. So I went out and spent a day and a half with him and took a gazillion pictures. And the bluebirds at that time and the babies, they had just started coming out about a week before. So needless to say, I processed photos for weeks and weeks. So, but it is just the most wonderful place to go to take bird photos. So there were pictures. We actually had a squirrel that came in there, and there were some blackbirds, and learned some interesting things. So it's just fun to see the different species of birds and learn the different quirks with them. For example, I did one of a blackbird. He had a mouthful of mealworms, and they go in and wash the mealworms off before they take them and eat them. And I had never heard that before. And that was one thing Carl told us. And sure enough, that was one thing he would put out. He goes through 40,000 mealworms a week.
Oh,
For these birds. Yes, it's incredible. But he said, just watch him, said he will stand there and wash off the mouthful of worms before he takes them off. So it's just fun to see the different kinds of birds and see how differently they act and react to others. So this is honestly the first time I've even heard of the Coles when it popped up. It won't be the last time I enter, that's for sure. It's fun. You can enter different contests, but enter a contest in that one category with bird photographers. That's a challenge. And, then the challenge next year is to step up the game. But it's fun not only to enter with the bird photographers, but to see just the amazing photos that everybody else gets. So it's definitely a lot of fun to be a part of it. But I'm very excited. Can't wait to start looking through the Coles bird seeds and try them out and see what works the best in my particular case. There's a Facebook ad, I think, that came up, and I'm like, bird photography contest? I'm in. So yes, I'm very excited. I'm very excited about that. I went down to Florida not long after I'd entered the contest and happened to be in the store. And I said, well, I'm going to go check out the bird supplies. And sure enough, there was a whole line of Coles merchandise in there. So I was glad to see that. That'll be awesome. But it's been a very fun experience, and it's been fun connecting with people through the Coles website, fellow bird photographers. So I've really enjoyed it.
it was so great to meet Lynn Guthrie and hear about the stories behind those beautiful bluebird pictures. And we just so appreciate everybody's time with that. And what a great resource she told us about. And next we have Kelly Logis. Her picture of a pine warbler took third place, and she tells us a little story behind that.
I just appreciate it so much, and the opportunity to be in third place with so many amazing photos. I mean, congrats to all. They were just all beautiful. I believe that was a frosty, kind of cold morning. And I have a lot of trees off my lawn in the back. And so a lot of times I'll just sit on my back deck and just kind of wait and see what shows up. And this cute little bird, as I'm zooming through the trees, was just sitting there perfectly, wanting me to take a photo of it. And my daughter said he was kind of chunky, so we always call him the chunky little bird. But and I loved his colors. It was like he was just waiting for me to get that capture, because I don't get a lot that well. They're always flying around a lot. So he was just sitting there perfect for me. And I was just zooming through the trees, seeing if I could find any kind of bird to take a photo of. And there he was. I like that one, but I sent in one of a bluebird on, he was resting out on a tree, and I thought that one would be picked. But so I was kind of surprised, but this is a good one too. But I just wasn't expecting it, so I was totally shocked. I've been purchasing this birdseed for a long time from our local nursery, and I think somehow I must have been talking about it. It popped up. Your Facebook page popped up in my list, so I just started following you. And then the past couple of years, I saw that you had this contest. And so I thought, what the heck? So I sent in a couple of bird photos.
So tell me how you felt about getting so many likes. I mean, it was extremely competitive. There were
Yeah.
so many great pictures.
I was nervous because we were on our way to Texas in my car. So I was kind of looking as my son was driving. We were moving him back from Texas. And so it was very stressful for me because, you know, I was trying to get votes too at the last minute, like everybody else, from friends and family, sharing it a lot of times, and driving with him and checking the Facebook page. So it was coming down to the wire, and I'm amazed because there were so many beautiful photos that anyone could pick because they were all just amazing.
Tell me how you feel about, your picture possibly making it to the calendar.
Oh, that would be just fabulous. I mean, that's really was my goal, was to be in the calendar. Just to have the bird in the calendar would be so fun and exciting. So that was really my goal to begin with, is just to make the calendar. And I'm shocked that I even won third place, to be honest, because like I said, there were so many beautiful photos. I am just an amateur in my backyard with my zoom lens trying to capture birds. And so, yeah, I really like that. And anyone can do it. I love it because, like you said, anybody can do it. You don't have to be a professional photographer, and there's so many out there. And there's a lot of people using AI that are just making where you can tell it's just fake. But all these pictures, they're not fake. They're beautifully done by amateurs. I'm sure there's professional photographers too as well. But anybody can join, and it's just fun looking at all the photos and seeing who's doing well, and it's just the fun of it all. To make the calendar, I think, is really fun. And then I've noticed you guys, you'll go back and show the winners from previous years when it's like that month of the year, like this is the bird from last year from November, this is the bird from January, and it's just fun seeing the ones that you saw a couple of years ago. You still show them. And it's pretty simple, and the entering's simple, the whole way you've got it set up, and anybody can do it. And it's just fun. So I would encourage anybody that loves to take pictures of birds to submit their photo next year. We used a lot of different bird seed years ago, and we had squirrel problems. And I have the bird feeder with the, throws the little squirrel off, but it just wasn't doing the trick. And so we get the hot blazing bird seed that your company makes, and it makes all the difference in the world. And so we're big fans of it. And that's what we do. We buy that instead of buying the other kind because it just doesn't keep the squirrels off.
And congratulations to all of our prize winners. And I know everybody is excited to hear when we will know the photographs and the people who made it, their photographs made it to the calendar. That isn't something we're going to know until we hope to announce them on our Facebook Live in October. Of course, that is the first Wednesday of every month when we have a Facebook Live. So we're hoping to know by then. Fingers crossed, we will be able to tell you then. We do want to go back through all of the semifinalists and just let you see these beautiful pictures one more time. And we're going to end the show with a video that shows all of the semifinalists. And congratulations to everyone who made the semifinals. It was so hard. We had more entries this year than we've ever had. So let's take a look. And this picture is by Richie Heinzelman, and of course it's cedar waxwings being fed. Now we see Lynn Guthrie's picture of the baby bluebird getting fed, and Lynn Guthrie had a second picture that made it to the semifinals. It was this very peaceful, beautiful picture of an eastern bluebird. And then Patricia Walenjevich. I'm not sure if that's right, but Birds in the Snow we loved. And then this picture is by Deidre Smith. It looks like somebody is trying to build a nest and get all of the materials needed. And this great picture of a blue jay that looks like it just woke up or it's waking up. This is by Robin Strickland. And this one is by Nathan Kennedy. And Nathan Kennedy made it also to the semifinals with this picture. And Bethany Ulrich made it with the adorable bird eating a spider. And Becky Kemp came in, it looks like has a chickadee coming in for a landing right there. And Becky Kemp also made it with this hummingbird photo. And of course, this is Kelly Loja's picture of a pine warbler. And this is Frances Miller with the indigo bunting, it looks like. And this cool off is by Connie Rathburn. And James Gorbard had this picture of a hummer. Lydia Lively had this picture of a hummer with some summer flowers. And Kimberly Fowler made it with this photo. This is by Joanna Tucker, of course a cardinal. Everybody loves to get the cardinals. And this one is by Jennifer Beck. And this one is, I believe, a black and white warbler by Colin Martin. And this one is by Tammy Groves. Tammy Groves also made it with this one. And Yvonne Moore shows us this beautiful Oriole, Baltimore Oriole. And Kathy this is by Lance Chenault. He is a favorite poster in our Facebook group where we hope everybody will join. And this is by McLeod. And this was taken by Kathy Diamantopoulos of a northern cardinal she calls Fire and Ice. And this picture was taken by Samuel Coles of a hummingbird. And Jess Miller has this picture of a hummingbird. And this is by Anna Brotzman. And this is Renee Stuckey's photo that made it, and Kelly Crone's photo that made it. This one is by Jennifer Bell of a robin. This is Rebecca Bell's photo. And this feeding the mother, feeding the robins. I guess this is the mother, could be the father, feeding the birds by Anita Danacola. And this one is by Randy Clegg. And another Anita Danacola with bluebirds. This one is by Margaret Shells. And this one is by Deborah Stakunas, I believe. I hope I have the last name correct. And this coming in for a landing, it looks like female cardinal, is Johnny Smith. And this photo of a mockingbird was by Kenny Fay. Kenny Fay also has this pine warbler. And Jan Addison has this picture, what's called a leucistic cardinal, very interesting looking cardinal. And this one is by Madden Jacoby, that's the last name there. And Marilyn Diaz has this photograph of a bluebird, as well as this one of a yellow-rumped warbler. And this one is by Mary Holhauser, a hummingbird. Another photo by Mary Holshauser. And this one we have Donatelli, it's a last name, and Rathburn of this Oriole. This is by Rebecca Bell of a bluebird. And of course Caroline Ross's photo that took first place. of a brown-crested flycatcher, and Berlin Pullen sent this one of a pileated woodpecker that made our semifinals. And this is a photo by Ron Foltz. And this is, I believe, Sam Svetlik. And this one is Denise Adams, the Savannah Sparrow. And I just have a last name on this one by Robbins. Trudy Flowers sent us this. And another Trudy Flowers with a blue jay caught running midair just about. And this one is by Al Sunt of Bluebird up on their nesting box. And this woodpecker is by Kathy Diamantopoulos. And this comes to us by Al Strickland, this bluebird. And this is Malcolm Stevens sent us this. And Malcolm Stevens also made it to the semifinals with this photograph. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you to everyone who was watching, who participated, who sent in photographs. If your photograph didn't make it to the semifinals, please don't be concerned about that. We just had so many photographs, and we just tried to have a wide variety of birds, a wide variety of people whose photographs made it, and we just thank everyone, and we congratulate those who made it to the semifinals, and congratulations to the winners. We're going to leave you with a video of all the semifinalists for our 2026 Kohl's Calendar Photo Contest, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, this is Richard Cole. I want to thank each of you for watching, and I want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to share it.